Good afternoon. This is Rich Nelson with the Commodity Wrap-Up comments. Today is Wednesday, November 17th, 2010. Before we get into the grains here, I just want to point out one interesting little stat here regarding the crude oil. 4 days down now off those highs, totaling over an $8 decline for crude. That certainly helps pressure ethanol and therefore also corn and also soybean oil as well here. So one thing I'll point out is simply a lot of this decline for corn can also be pointed on the shoulders of this crude market here. As far as grains today, kind of a mixed action. Corn down 1.5 cents here for the last trade. That was certainly after a wild session here. Overnight, it's down dramatically. The day session up as much as 8 or 9 cents there before failing here. So for the most part, corn did not have too much of movement today. Soybeans down 15.25. We're not able to hold their midday rebound here. I want to point that out here. Also of interest, today's electronic low, 11.75 That was actually, as far as the electronic overnight session, that was getting much closer to that gap everybody's been watching. That gap runs from 11.45 to 11.61 on that January contract. So we're getting closer to that gap right now. Wheat up 7 cents here. As far as news here for the grains, kind of sparse here today. The fact we still have some overall pressure here coming from this whole China situation, which has not been resolved and probably won't be for some time here. Also for the corn, I want to point out that Congress, starting the end of this week and lasting through early December, Congress is going to be starting discussing this whole tax situation and the tax changes for this coming year. One thing I would point out is at this point the ethanol tax blender's credit certainly is up in the air right now. The chairman of the Senate Finance Committee this morning mentioned he might take a look at reducing the tax down from 45 cents down to 30 cents. The key issue right now is at the end of this year we'll get this expiration of the end of the ethanol tax, ethanol blender's tax credit, and at the same time also that import tariff that we have on imported ethanol here. So hopefully we'll get some type of deal done. It will be at a reduced amount. That certainly is true, but we just got to wait and see right now. Sorry for beans, things are actually kind of quiet. No overnight sales for beans to speak of. And as far as the trade down in South America, as far as the weather goes, Brazil's still doing just fine. Argentina's still a little dry here. On the wheat side, we did see 7 cents higher today. Main reason, we've got this plains-based crop still having some problems. Forecasters say that next week's light rains will not hit any portion of the southern plains. Only the central northern plains and also the Corn Belt, eastern Corn Belt, will raise the soft red varieties. Of interest today, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, they mentioned that they predict 2011 wheat crop needs to be up 3.5% in order for this market not to have any supply shocks. So if we're having some problems here in the U.S., maybe that may not meet their goal. Over on the cattle side, up 90 cents today. So we reported Monday and Tuesday some strong wholesale beef prices. Today up $1.40 for choice, down 28 for select. But the overall tone right now is certainly changing, rebounding here for this beef market right now on the wholesale beef side. Cash cattle, we traded numbers steady here yesterday afternoon as well as today, 98, 98.5 here. So not a big deal in this one. Looks like this market's going to be on pause right now, waiting for this Friday cattle on feed report. Placement estimate I have from Reuters at least, 99.9%. So a 0.1% decline for placements in the month of October. Still sets us up for some slaughter numbers equal to, or in fact more likely higher than last year. That's going to be set in stone from now through March or so. Over on the hog side, up 30 cents. Market was able to rebound. The fact we didn't have all that pressure like we had from corn in the past few days, that certainly helped us out a little bit here. But this market is not ready to rebound too much just yet. The fact is we still have slaughters, heavy slaughters, and heavy weights being a primary issue for this market right now. Also of interest, you might be interested to hear that the Russian Meat Union updated their quota estimates for 2011. They're going to drop numbers from 600,000 metric tons allocated to the total for 2010. That's going to drop to 2011 levels of 400,000 tons. And these are for poultry. The poultry import levels are going to decline. That's not a big surprise here. What is interesting is this little fact: Russian poultry production in 2010, I have in my notes, up 13%. They estimate another 10% jump in 2011. That's quite an increase for production levels. A very big deal. So main point for the hogs, until we get this slaughter and the weight situation kind of worked out, don't expect a major rebound here just yet. If you have any questions about what's going on in the markets, please feel free to give us a call here. Our number is 1-800-262-7538. And of course, we do have to mention this conference coming up in January. Quite a big deal for us and quite a big deal for everyone who attends. Quite a neat little package we've worked out for you. You not only get our short-term price outlooks, but certainly a longer-term price outlook for all three main grains, as well as cattle and hogs, and also, more importantly, what to do about them, whether it's trading or marketing your products here. If you have any questions, give us a call here, 1-800-262-7538.